Hi, Doug Franklin with you again for Teacher Prep Video 4 for Outcast, The Great Invitation. And this is just a lot of fun to talk about for me because the great invitation is to come and be in God's family, to be one of His children, to be His servant. And I love this invitation. If you've just gotten done with the large group, you remember the invitation is transformational. It transforms us. The invitation to the woman at the well was, I can see all the things that are going on in your life. If you want, I can actually give you something that will bring great satisfaction so that you can stop looking for everything else in this world to satisfy you and you can be satisfied in me. That was the great invitation to the woman at the well. I'll give you water that you'll never be thirsty again if you drink this water. What a great invitation, huh? And when we give that great invitation, it'll be transformational for people. We also talked about with the great invitation that we have to share, like, and exchange. We got to get it out to other people. Follow. I mean, there's some great points here. In social media, our students are always liking things and following things and sharing things. How about their walk with Christ? This great invitation, are they sharing it? Are they proclaiming it? Are they getting out there with it? There's some great challenges that come out of that point that was taught earlier. And then also our testimony. Do your students know their testimony, and are they okay with their testimony? I know one of the things for me is I never did drugs or went to prison or lost everything. I've never been through any of that. But the testimony that I have is still a testimony of God's redemption because I was lost. And God rescued me. He rescued me at a very young age. I think of the parable that Jesus taught of the workers in the field at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., noon, 3 and 5, and Jesus pays them all the same wage. And they start complaining, we worked all day in the hot sun. We should get more than the people who worked at 5. I oftentimes ask myself, where am I in that story? I'm a 6 a.m. worker. I went to work in the kingdom at a very, very young age because God called me at a young age. What a great privilege to share that testimony with other people. A testimony that doesn't have a lot of incredible, hellacious circumstances, but one of incredible love and grace. And I think you probably have something to share as well too. Please give your testimony to students in this small group time. Let them know, if you haven't already, about God's redemptive work in your life. Again, as you go from sort of large group into small group, there is a great case study, another really tough case study, one with no right answer, but one where students can begin to really wrestle what faith means. It's about a young girl who comes to youth group and gets saved, but then has some circumstances that affect her in some incredible way. She gets pregnant. And the question is why have all of her friends abandoned her, left her? And it's something to really talk about, I think, as a ministry about what is the road that we walk on as disciples of Christ? And is just praying the prayer the end? Or is there a lot more to go? And how should we deal with people that are going through struggles? How did Jesus deal with this woman? There was a great invitation, not when she did things well, but when she did things poorly. And to wrestle with that is, I think, really important. There's also some great verses to go deeper on as well, too. There's one I want to look at. It's Matthew 5:43 through 45. And it says this, "You have heard that it is said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemy and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be sons of your Father who is in heaven." This is God's attitude towards us, right? When we do things to spite Him, when we're disobedient, when we show hate and malice towards Him, He still shows love towards us. And so we are to do the same thing for each other. Wow, this is the hard part of being a Christ follower, is that we actually have to act like Christ. We have to actually be willing to forgive others and walk the road with others. This great invitation never ends. It just continues and continues and continues. Your students, this would be a big challenge for them because, like many of us in the Christian world, we like judgment. We like being judgmental. We like being right. And this is where we've got to put that away. And we've got to put on mercy. We've got to clothe ourselves in mercy. The great invitation never ends. We keep making the great invitation over and over and over because God keeps making it to us. This is the last time you'll be with the students. I really encourage you to challenge them, to encourage them, to help them think through where they're at in their discipleship journey with the Lord. And I'll always remind them that the invitation never ends. Outsiders, no matter where you are always welcome. Thanks for doing Outcast, and I pray that it has been really special in your life and it's been a great chance for you to disciple students. Thanks for what you do.